Hey guys, welcome back to Get Into It with Jason Hook, with me, your host, Jason Hook. I'm looking as crazy as ever tonight. So, in this episode, I went to my friend's record store, which I've been going to for a long time, called Mars Records. About a week and a half ago. I've been busy the last week or so, so I haven't made a video. But, I'm going to Tim for a long time, been friends with him for a long time, Sell Shore Forever. He'll watch this. What's up, Tim? And plug your store. My glowing, uncut hair is all over the place. I have a beard. I'm tired. But he hooked me up with one of these cool shirts. Finally made one in super fat guy size, so I'm psyched about that. But let me turn this record up. So hopefully you can hear that. We're going to get into it. So, what we're listening to is Shallow Creatures by Black Beach. Back here. Black Beach is a local band. I believe this came out last year. I could be wrong. I saw them and I thought they were really cool, but I didn't grab any a record or anything from them because I think I was broke. But they have I know they have other releases. The sleeve here has got a little live shot going on. Live shots. Lyrics and some drawings on the other side. These guys are really good. I don't know if you can hear. I don't want to turn it up too loud because I'll drown myself out. I'm the most important person in the world. So, anyways, it's like a rock. I would say rock. It's very like I would say Stooges influenced. It's really creative shit. Really, great local band. I hope if you guys see this, what's up? I know I talked to one of you at you guys played a show a while ago. You might have both been drunk, but this is Black Beach, Shallow Creatures. It's on Basement Sounds. I'll post a link. I don't think this is on YouTube, but I think there was like a live practice session or something on YouTube, so I'll post that up and tag them. But check these guys out. So next, we're going to get into some purchases I made from Tim. And I have one purchase here that I made not from Tim that I'll talk about. But the first thing I wanted to show you is this copy of Bad Religion's Against the Grain. This came out in 1990, and it's commonly known as the album with the weird cover art. And the cool thing about this record too is, if you guys watch my videos, you know I get into this like weird stuff. So the insert here has is upside down, well for side A. Has pinholes in it. Someone definitely had this hanging up on their wall. They didn't move it a lot, so there's only it's only 4, but on the back here you got the insert. So you guys all know Bad Religion. Been a band forever. Definitely has a very distinct sound. It's black label. It's black red vinyl. So I'll just show you the center labels here. This came out right when they were kind of perfecting their sound. Like I want to say a pop punk sound. It is a pop punk sound. The singer Greg Graffin is a very, very distinct vocal delivery. And this came out right in the midst of their big wave of like my personal favorite stuff they ever did. So this came out, like I said, this is 1990. Get in there. There's a million different pressings of this, so I believe this is everything I looked up. Told me this was an original. Usually there's a sticker here. I don't know if it was on the shrink that has like a barcode and it like says who it is. Because on the front, you know, without this, that's what it looks like. So this came out in between like No Control, before Generator, and Suffer around the time of Suffer. So this band was really on like their rocket, I would say, of just the sound and, you know, the style of what they were doing at the time. And so it's Greg Hetson in it from the Circle Jerks. He was in Red Cross. I don't believe he's in the band anymore. They are still active. Brett Gurwitz, who owns Epitaph Records, was in this band. He left and then came back. I believe he's in the current version of it. This sold 100,000 copies and was the first record on Epitaph to sell 100,000 copies, and so it was surpassed by this like little record you guys might have heard that came out in the a few years later called Smash by the Offspring, which kind of blew up Epitaph. There's a documentary that was floating around for a while that talks about Epitaph, and they would say that when Smash was blowing up, they legit had to rent like storage units just for Smash CDs. So the amount of money they made off that was crazy. Kind of kept the label alive to put out some other stuff. But this was Pete Firestone's last album with the band as well, the drummer. They've had different members coming in and out of the band. Like I said, I think Brett is back with the band, but he only plays local shows or something. So sometimes they have 3 guitars. Brian Baker from Minor Threat is in the band. But but it's a pretty legendary band. I'm sure you guys know who Bad Religion are. The Gray Race was the last record of theirs that I really got into. I remember, maybe it's just my age group, seeing that thing get in every zine and being pumped all the time when it came out. I don't want to say that's the first one I own, but I think it might have been. Maybe then Stranger Than Fiction. But anyway, so this is off topic. So this is Bad Religion Against the Grain, Epitaph Records. It's the first thing I picked up from old Tim down at Mars Records, located on Main Street in Plymouth. Next thing I grabbed from him is this weird record here. It's called the TonyALL record. Came out in 1991 on Cruise Records. So what this is Tony from The Descendants and All, just doing songs Tony wrote over a 10-year period. It's TonyALL New Girl, Old Story. And on the back here, it's just got the lyrics, and every one is sung by like a different person, really. Tony sings some, who plays bass. Carl, who plays guitar, and The Descendants now was in All. Scott, who was a singer for All at the time, sings some. So they kind of all trade off on a bunch of the songs. It's gonna come out all blurry. Sorry, guys. It's an alright record. Some of the songs are real off for me, just for my personal taste. I think it's kind of weird record that came out and just kind of disappeared. But it's got a white label, it just says TonyALL on it. But it's got a couple jammers on it. It's got a couple throwaways, I would say. I believe, like I said, I think these were songs that Tony was just writing on the side and just wanted to throw, like, not a Descendants record, but not an All record, but, Tony from the Descendants with All. You guys can look up the whole history of Descendants, turned into All, then went back to Descendants, and All was their own thing, and it was a whole thing, but this is the TonyALL record, New Girl, Old Story, on Cruise. I love the Descendants. I dabble a little bit in All, so that's why I thought I'd grab. I've never seen one. It was like $12, so no biggie. Next, we have 2 records by the same band, and it's a legendary. Like, I'm gonna catch shit for just showing these off, but I always had these on CD. But this is Judas Priest, British Steel. This is original press. I believe it's an original press. This is sold over 1 million copies. If you actually look it up, there's 118. I wrote it down. 118 different versions of British Steel. Opens out with Breaking the Law. It's got Living After Midnight United on it. Don't have to be old to be wise. Just classic new wave of British heavy metal. This came out in 1980. Like I said, I own these on CD, or like the greatest hit CDs I bought over the years, but I never actually owned this on vinyl. He had one in there, so I grabbed it. It's on Columbia. Didn't have an insert. I'm not sure if the original does. If any of you guys know, let me know. A lot of as I was talking about the Bad Religion record, you guys, I know a lot of these, if there's inserts, are gone because they were stuck to a wall or something of that nature. So it's very hard to find inserts with like metal and old punk and hardcore records. But yeah, black vinyl with just the Columbia labels. Just classic new wave of British heavy metal from Birmingham, England. Great stuff. I'm seeing them in March. Santa Claus bought me 2 tickets for the Worcester show. So if anybody else local's going, let me know. It'd be cool hanging out in Worcester. But look on the back is great. Rob Halford. Great. Just great stuff. And then this was right next to it when I was digging through the shelves, which is Judas Priest Point of Entry. This came out in 1981. It's on the same record label, Columbia. You're heading out to the highway on here, Troubleshooter, all the way. Just some real, Priest bangers, man. The funny thing about this cover is, so the cover that was the rest of the world has like a wing with kind of like a sunset drawn on it. This is the US version, which is like computer paper, and then like white cardboard boxes on the back. I was flipping through an interview just like when I was looking up this record just to see, you know, I wanted to make sure I had my, you know, year and story right about the covers. I guess the band hated this cover, and they actually hated the other one too. But it's a real awkward, like if you look at this cover, you don't think it's going to sound like what it sounds like. But it does have the classic Judas Priest logo that they went on to use throughout the 80s there, like the 3D-ish one with like the squiggle underneath it. But another great Priest record, great band, you guys all know. Drummer just passed away, but he was a piece of shit, so you can Google why. But so next we have Destruction, some German thrash from I believe what year is this? 1987. This is the Steam Hammer. It's on Steam Hammer. It's an EP, the Mad Butcher EP. It's only 4 songs on here. Weird thing about this one, I know some of you metal guys I watch, just help me out with this, because this is a promo copy. You can see the stamp. So it says, you know, property of the record company. This album is on loan for promotional purposes. Only holder agrees to return on demand. Attempted sales avoided in violation of the law. So I didn't buy this at Mars. But pull this out. It's red vinyl. It comes on these bags that I hate. I haven't been able to change yet. So it's red vinyl. The Steam Hammer logo. But this came with a promotional 8x10. You guys see, for Destruction. And like a little postcard type thing. They said, and then just like says the name of the band and like a P.O. box for merch and the other releases Destruction had. So maybe I'll send it away to the fan club. It doesn't say you have to send any money, so we'll see if I get anything back. It's only been in 31 years. But Destruction is, I don't dabble too much into them. I've always wanted a copy of this record. A buddy of mine used to have it on a tape, and we would listen to it all the time, and we'd be like driving places and hanging out and whatever. So I saw it on vinyl, and I grabbed it. It's just really awesome thrash, just driving thrash, classic 80s style thrash, for, you know, not party pizza skateboard thrash, which a lot of people associate now. Awesome. Like, look at the dudes on the back, like leather vest, creator shirt, wearing his own band shirt, which I love. 2 bullet belts, not 1. You have everything studded, just awesome stuff here. So photos alone can tell you what it probably sounds like. But this is classic. I've always wanted one. Maybe this is a US press or a promo press. If you guys know if the other things came with an actual insert or those 8x10s, I'll be like, or postcard. If you can comment below, that'd be great. But that's Destruction, Mad Butcher. Like I said, it's an EP 12-inch. I'm saying like I said a lot. I'm a little tired, guys. Sorry. Next we have Bl'ast, the almighty Bl'ast. These guys are from California. They're part of what a lot of people call like the Oxnard scene. Some people consider them part of the Oxnard scene. This is their second LP. It's In My Blood, which came out in 1987. They've broken up a couple times, reformed. I know they put out 2 records in the last 4 or 5 years or so. I think Dave Grohl was involved in one. He mastered it. But this is like, you know, this is on SST, by the way. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. A lot of people used to say they bit like later Black Flag sound. They kind of did. It's punk and hardcore, but it's a little heavy and driving. Black vinyl, red labels again. Another one of these nasty plastic sleeves I'm going to get rid of. Comes with this insert here. It's got live shots on one side. And lyrics and a live shot on the other. I really love this band. I always have. They fell in the punk and hardcore scene, real popular with skateboarders and stuff. Total nihilistic vocals. Just some real angry shit. With a little bit heavier sound. It wasn't just like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 and blast through. But I know right now, I think Nick Oliveri, if I'm saying his name right, I'm sorry, from Queens of the Stone Age is in the version that exists now. They put out a double LP, which I have last year, 2 years ago. But this early stuff I kind of like better. I don't know. I like it all, but this early stuff is just heavy shit. Like I said, nihilistic hardcore. A gruff vocal, not a scream vocal, but driving, kind of like slow breakdown-y at some parts. Just really dark stuff for me. Like, I've always thought this was a dark band. But then, you know, they got a song Looking Into Myself, which is about how you should, you know, look into yourself and realize that, you know, you're the important person. Don't worry about every other person's shit. But the way it's delivered, it just sounds like it's, you know, a song about how you should jump off a cliff. But that's Bl'ast. It's in my blood. Record's over, so I'm going to flip it for you. So I'll be back in 1 minute. I'm back. Man, my light situation in this house is garbage. All right. Next, we have another buy from Tim. This is RKL. Keep Laughing. Rich Kids on LSD. This is some California. Actually, you know what? Bl'ast wasn't Nardcore. I'm so sorry, guys. Bl'ast was from Santa Cruz. These guys are Nardcore. I mixed them up. But this is fast hardcore from California. 1985. This came out. It's on Mystic. I'll have a little chat about Mystic in a minute. Before as I show the record, these guys, like Bl'ast, have broken up and reformed a million times. I believe they had a release in the mid '90s that was put on Epitaph. They had a song that was on a bunch of different comps and stuff. But this one didn't come with an insert. I think the original does. But as I was just saying, it's on Mystic, so who knows when this was pressed. It's got that. It's got the Super 7 label on one side, and the the song titles and what side they're on. A lot of the ones that I see on this side doesn't have this label. It has the label. It just has this skull. So I couldn't find when this was pressed. I'm assuming it's probably 85. The vinyl might be later, and this might be an 85 sleeve. Mystic is a real bitch to collect. They put out a lot of stuff, in my opinion, that I'm not necessarily into. And they put out a lot of stuff that I am into, but they just kept pressing it and putting labels and not announcing they were in different presses. So it's a real kind of pain in the ass to collect. These guys were really heavy in the skateboard scene in California. You can tell right there. You know. If you've watched my other videos, I've explained the California sound is just a little bit more punk, a little bit more, not as fast, it's a little bit more melodic. There's some like riffs in here. There's like weird, there's some almost melodic backup vocals on some of the songs. But it's great stuff. I really, really dug this record. I never owned a copy of it on vinyl. I think I had a tape as a kid. Well, I think I still am a kid, but that's our RKL, which stands for Rich Kids on LSD. Keep Laughing. On Mystic. This is a classic skate rock record. Next we have Millions of Dead Cops, MDC, or Millions of Dead Children, or Multi-Death Corporation. I believe there were Millions of Dead Cops when this came out. This is on R Radical Records from 1982. Pretty telling what they think if you look at the back cover here. It has, John Wayne was a Nazi, one of their most well-known songs. In my opinion, I don't really dig a lot of the later MDC stuff. I dig this record. Frantic, fast, typical 1980s US hardcore, just as fast as you can physically go, breakneck, almost fall apart fast. Very political, as you can probably tell. Very political, very left-leaning. This is the original press with the black border. I know there's some with the white border. This has been pressed a bunch of times as well. The thing about these records is this white border on the back. These are tipped-on sleeves, if you guys know about those. I'm sure you do. But this is a thick cardboard that's actually glued right here. So a lot of times these are all unglued, and these are completely filthy and dirty. This one's got some dirt on it, but I mean, it's 35 years old, so I was born in 82, so I'm the same age as this record. Usually, I believe this comes with an insert. This one doesn't have an insert. Again, back to earlier in the video. Punk and hardcore metal records with inserts. Hard to find. But it's got the R Radical label with MDC. And then if you go on the B-side, Blue by Day, White by Night, Stop Killer Cops, cop with a Klans thing on it. What I did find in here, kind of folded up though, is this cool little catalog for R Radical Records. Mail order thing. So, albums are only $6. We got BGK, Jonestown Aloha, Holland's Best Hardcore, Offenders, We Must Rebel, DRI, Dirty Rotten LP, and MDC, this one. 7 inches are $3. You got the MDC Chicken Squawk 7-inch. as I listed here, Millions of Dead Children. Swing by the East, Swing by the West, Swing by the Chicken That You Love the Best. DRI, Violent Pacification, Forced to Be Nice to Each Other, Kill You Before You Kill Each Other. The Dicks. C2D, Condemned to Death. And MDC Multi-Death Corporation. Then t-shirts are $6. You got some MDC shirts. Actually, they're all MDC shirts. An Offender shirt, buttons 50 cents. But the thing about the Offenders, the thing about MDC is, I did write down so I didn't mix this up. They started in Austin, Texas, then moved to San Francisco. So the address in here is actually for San Francisco. Our Radicals out of San Francisco. But, you know, most of these bands are Texas bands. So this must have been, our Radical must have been someone in the band. But it's, you know, a cool little drawing there of a punk standing by a cop, giving him the finger. You know, he's fat and lazy, like most cops are. Hate people shredding the concrete wave, man. But, well, he's wearing a shirt that says MDC. But, I love finding stuff like this. You can tell it's all folded kind of weird, so it's probably just jammed in there. Put that back where it'll stay forever. But that's MDC's Millions of Dead Children. These guys were also on the cover of the first Maximum Rock and Roll. Dave Dichter, the singer. He also has a book out, too. Which I'm going to be brutally honest with you, I own and have never read. It's sitting over there. But I will one day. But Dick for Brains, I Hate Work, My Family is a Little Weird, Greedy and Pathetic, Church and State, Kill the Light, American Achievements, Business on Parade, Dead Cops, America So Straight, Born to Die, Corporate Death Burger, Violent Rednecks, I Remember, and John Wayne Was a Nazi. These guys were called the Stains before, too. John Wayne Was a Nazi was actually a Stain song. But I'm flying way off the rails here. So that's MDC, Millions of Dead Cops. Like I said, Our Radical Records, 1982 right there. I don't know if that's even going to come out because my camera sucks, my light sucks, but whatever. So, put that back. Next, I have some other stuff I bought from Tim that I'm going to save for my next video. What do I have? Oh, okay. So the next thing I want to show you is if you guys, there's somebody who's commenting on my videos, if you guys comment, named Evan Vincent, who just started a channel. He has 2 videos up, so I'm gonna post a link to his channel, so you guys should definitely check him out, subscribe, comment, you know. But comment on my stuff first. No, I'm just kidding. You know, comment and stuff. But he was talking. He did a vinyl tag that he posted. I believe it was yesterday, and he talked about, you know, it's supposed to be like your favorite records and like, you know, records that were like kind of like life changing or whatever for you. And he actually posted this. So this is the first Ramones record, but this is a different version of it. If you guys have been hanging around here for a bit, I've told you about how I've had weird luck with an FYE that's in a mall the next town over. It's kind of a dying mall. I've gone in there and gotten some stuff for really cheap. This is the 40-year anniversary, so obviously it's from 2016. Limited 7,361 and 19,760. On this, what it is the original album. You got the 40th anniversary mono mix on LP. But this comes with 3 CDs. Well, the first CD has a stereo version and the mono mix that's on the vinyl. The second one, which is the greatest thing, is single mixes, outtakes, and demos. And what it is that it's demos of songs that were recorded before they officially recorded them for this record. Different versions, mono and stereo versions of songs. The uncensored vocals, songs for Today Your Love and Tomorrow the World. Majority of this CD is unissued. I mean, I'm just probably get on the internet now, guys, but it's unissued. So, and then the third CD is Live at the Roxy in Hollywood, California, on 8/12/76. And they came back. They did 2 sets, so both sets are on here. And I believe they're exactly the same. I'll show you the back in a minute. I just want to make sure. Yeah, they're literally the same set, but it's 2 sets from the same show. And here's the back that lists everything. So you crack this thing open. This is cool. So you got the 3 CDs here that kind of slide out. Let me see if I can slide one out without ripping it. So you pull this out. It's got a brick wall behind it. This is really thick, like cardboard here. And you got the close-up of the belt here. So let me pull this out. So this is a 180-gram vinyl. Pull the vinyl up. It's on. So this was the official sire too. It's So it's black vinyl. You guys, and with the Sire logos. You guys know what this stuff looks like. But it also comes with this booklet here. Comes with this booklet where on the front it's just got like all the different photo outtakes from the cover photo shoot. It's got everything relisted on the back, which I just explained to you. You open it up, it's got Joey right there. And then it's got a little story, flip through, it's a couple photos from, back here. From Craig Leon, who was involved in pressing the record. You open up to the middle, got a cool photo here of the Ramones, you know, up against the fence there. And then you know it's got the lyrics, which we all know. Then it's got the Dawn of the Ramones, a little article thing. And then a written thing by Mitchell Cohen. And then you know who the Ramones were, you all know who they were. And then the back here. So the thing about this, so this came out, like I said, this came out, if it's 40 years, it's 2016. Maybe early 2017, because that's, you know, 40 years. The record came out in 76. So this was marked this was $76. There's another price tag that marked it down to $60, and then another one that marked it down to $50. And then it was in like a 10%, it had a 10% off sticker on it. So I picked it up and I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to end up paying like 40 something bucks, whatever. This is cool. I've always wanted one. At least I'm not paying 80. I bring it up to the register and it rung up for $22. And I was like, the kid's like, oh yeah, the record's $22. And I was like, all right, man. So it's just a cool thing. It's like, this is a really well put together, it's really thick. Really, I got to get a bigger sleeve for it. I'll find one. But you know, as for a Ramones fan, this is a cool thing. Really nice. Like I said, hard, like not flimsy at all. There's a ding down in the corner, but what are you going to do? But that's the Ramones' 40th anniversary record for the first LP. So that's all I got for tunes. I want to go over two quick things, well, music related, but not record related. Well, yeah, whatever. So February 11th, if you guys are in the Massachusetts area or Cambridge, at the Elks Lodge in Cambridge is going to be a thing called the Black Market, which Boston Hassel's involved in and Ignore Rock and Roll Heroes is involved in. And it's like a flea market for record collectors and people who have homemade jewelry and art and comic type stuff there. So that's Sunday, February 11th in Cambridge. I'll post a link. You guys check it out. I'm definitely swinging by to check it out. And speaking of comics, this past weekend I went to, I spit all over this. My good pal, I don't know what he wants to be, Mike Rufio the Punk. What's he listed in here as? Of course he's not listed in. So, Rufio, I'll call him Rufio, that's what I've always called him. Draws a comic strip called Life is Posers. And he had the release for his new issue here, Inflammable Metropolis. I'll post a link to the website. This comes out on like a semi-regular thing. There's strips that he does. And it tells a story about this awesome city called Poserden and all the punks that live in it. So just guys get an idea of what it looks like here. And all the punks that live in it. This is his third one of these, I believe. I could be wrong. I know I have them all. I just haven't counted them. But every once in a while, he puts together a little run of the story and puts it into one of these cool little books. So you can, like, you know, the whole wave of... It's about seeing a band. I'm not going to give it all away. Excuse me, guys. You know, there's some punk going undercover. A cop going undercover as a punk here. But if you guys like punk and hardcore, this is great. There's tons of little hidden jokes in the panels. There's tons of little things that you'll definitely catch if you dig tunes. This one also has different guest artists drawing scenes from a show that happens in the story. So I'll post a link for this. You should definitely check it out. It's great, awesome stuff. You'll like it, I guarantee it. Maybe I'll throw one of these into a prize or a giveaway at some point, because I support everything he does. He's an awesome dude. What's up, Rufio? He also had these stickers, so I grabbed some stickers, so I'll show these real quick. And they're just like little grabs of different panels that he did. There's other stickers too. He has a lot of stuff. You can get all this from the website. I just thought this was cool. And in closing, I've had some art drawn up for 2 different sticker designs I'm going to be making. So expect those soon. The art is done. I'll leak it. I won't show you guys yet until I get the stickers made, so I can get them out. So if you guys are interested in stickers, let me know. Write a message. And that's pretty much all I got today. Record ended perfect timing. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Share, like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. Buy records and listen to punk and hardcore, and support Life as Posers, and definitely support Mars Records, located on Main Street in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Become the Plymouth on vacation. Buy some records from Tim. Tell him I sent you. And I also dropped off some Bones Brigade 7-inches there for him to give away to anyone who seems cool. So, again, that's all I got. Good night.